Hey there, do you ever feel like you're just totally wasting money? Sometimes you look back and you think to yourself, what have I even been spending my money on? Well, if you are looking to change your financial habits, then I want you to stick around because in today's video, I'm going to talk all about how to align your spending with your values. If you're new to the whole YouTube thing, you can subscribe to my channel and hit that little bell and you'll be notified every time there's a new video that comes out. We all have to spend money, but if we're not spending money on the things that matter to us, then it can really feel out of alignment for us and lead to feelings of frustration or shame or guilt. So we want to stop that frustration in your tracks, and we want to move towards a place of spending in a way that increases your level of happiness. So how do we do that? Again, we're going to look at values, and then we're going to talk about how we're going to align your spending with those things. Because once you get your spending in line with your values, that's when you start to feel a sense of ease, happiness, and contentment. And I want you to feel confident with your money, and this is really one of the first steps. I will say this is also a great exercise for you and your significant other to do together so that the two of you can compare your values, and it should lead to some interesting conversations. Okay, let's actually answer the question first of what are values. Values are going to be things that at your core mean a lot to you, and they help you to feel like you're living a life of purpose. What you're doing every single day really matters to you, matters to your impact on the world, and just making sure that there are certain things that you want to do because it really makes you feel like you are living in alignment with who you are at your core. So let's take a look at some examples. So I am going to have a download. I'll have a link in the comments below of an exercise that you can go through here with the list of values. But I just want to read off some of these so that we can kind of talk about what some of them might be. So let's see here. Health could be a value. Security, being in service to or helping others. Maybe family or friendship is some of your values. Let's see here. So trust. There's other things here too, like pleasure, power, public service, knowledge, leadership, challenge, adventure, art. So there's a lot of different things that are on this list. And again, I'll have a download for you. So I want you to go through this and you're going to kind of narrow down what are the most important values to you. And it really is going to be kind of your guidepost as far as making decisions, not just with your money, but with every day in life. So have you ever thought about how sometimes opportunities present themselves and they have a financial cost to them, and it's very easy for you to say no, right? There are certain things that you're just not really intrigued by. It doesn't pique your interest. It's not something that you value, not something that you need or want. And so it's just very easy for you to say no. I want you to have that absolute same level of clarity with the things that you're going to say yes to. And one of the things that we're going to do is we're going to talk about how you're going to look at where your current spending is happening and does it actually align with your values. Let's talk about how there can be a spectrum of costs associated with a particular value. So if you have someone who has a value of friendship, we can think about different ways that you can live out that value on a daily basis, right? So there's different things you can do in order to connect with friends. It can be just a simple phone call or FaceTime, or if you've got friends that are local, you might meet up and go have lunch or coffee and just catch up on each other's lives. Maybe you go, hiking together or go shopping together. There's a lot of different ways that you can connect with your friends. Maybe you connect with your friends by going out for dinner or to go to sporting events. I want you to think through what the spectrum is, though, if you have a friend that you connect with simply on a phone call or FaceTime versus if you go out to a very expensive dinner with friends, right? So you can connect with people, but you can also control what that level of spending looks like in order to maintain that value of friendship. Another example would be health. So you might be in a position where you, live in an area that has like a really nice gym that you go to, or maybe you work with someone, specifically a trainer. Those kind of things are going to have higher costs than if you are doing other activities such as, just going out for a walk, or if you have a home gym. Those kind of things are not going to have the same cost. However, both people who are spending a lot of money and a little money are still valuing their health. It's just to what degree are you spending money on that? So let's take another example and kind of dissect this a little bit. If I have someone who identifies their top 5 values as free time, connection, health, honesty, and spirituality, and then they look at their spending, there's a saying that says, show me your spending and I'll show you your values. If they look at their spending and they see a lot of expenses on like truck parts and accessories, right? Or car parts and accessories, which of the main values does that line up with? And again, if the values are free time, connection, health, honesty, and spirituality, maybe it's a free time thing. Maybe that's a hobby for that particular person. And so that's the money that they're channeling towards their hobby, which fulfills free time. Maybe if you also are spending money on, let's say, like cable packages that have a lot of sports channels, right? Maybe that's because you have a value of free time. So that's the way that some of these things can play out, where you're looking at spending as it equates and aligns to the different values. Now, also, I want you to look at the list of values once you go through that exercise and really think to yourself, how many of these values can I live out and really don't actually cost much or any money at all? Oftentimes, when you look at your values, you will start to realize that you can really live a life that's true to your values and increases your happiness, and you're not really going to need to or have to spend a lot of money in order to do that. So I want you to look at this 2 different ways. One way is, once you've identified your values, think about, does it really cost much money or any money at all in order to live within these values, live them out, right? And then also, once you look at your spending, does your spending line up with your values, or is it completely out of alignment? So again, I think this is a really great exercise for you to go through and look at. You can look at it really from 2 perspectives. One is, what are my values, and does it cost me much anything to do these things? And the other is, what is my spending, and does my spending line up with the values? But another thing I want you to think about is that if you are in a relationship with somebody, I would love for you both to do this exercise separately. So you can go through, you can see, are you guys well aligned on your values or not? And what does that mean for you? Because that can mean a lot of different things as far as just how you move through life. But then money is often, a way that shows up for us that really helps us to identify if there are things that surface as a problem. A lot of times it can be with money. So I hope you've enjoyed this today. Don't forget to download the values worksheet so that you can do this exercise, and I will see you again next time. Bye.